have. It's led us to this point.
금요일 밤입니다. 불금이에요. 저는 오늘도 야간 출근입니다. 역시 금요일 밤에는 야간 출근이죠. 스트레칭하고 팔굽혀펴기 위주로 하겠습니다. 여기 멍이 들었는데 이 멍이 왜 이렇게 오래 가지? 일주일은 지나야 되나?
What you miss about it?
I miss his conversations. Everyone who knows Ronnie knows he was a given soul. He found a laughter. He found everything was happy for him, regardless of what he went through. A cancer survivor, everything in life that he succeeded to overcome. That's something we're going to miss. But we'll remember him, and it makes us stronger because of that. Everyone who knows Ronnie knows his heart, and they're grieving, and it's heavy for them as well.
Mona, I know you have a long path ahead of you with this. We thank you so much for coming on. Mona Hardin and Lee Merritt, thank you to both of you.
Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Overnight, new details were revealed about the investigation into America's impeachment magnate, Rudy Giuliani. A new court filing stated that the government seized 18 electronic devices belonging to Giuliani and some of his employees in a raid of his home and office last week. Now, federal prosecutors are urging a judge to appoint an independent review of the devices. CNN's Kara Scannell joins us now. And Kara, this was a response from federal prosecutors to a filing made by Giuliani. And it seems there's a lot of new details in this document.
Yeah, John, there are a lot of new details here. What we're learning is that the prosecutors had seized 18 devices from Giuliani, his home and office, when they executed that search warrant last month. They also are defending that search and one they conducted in 2019 of Giuliani's iCloud account and also accounts belonging to an attorney and ally of his, Victoria Tenzing. Here's what prosecutors say. They say Giuliani and Tenzing are lawyers, to be sure, but the court found probable cause that their devices and accounts contained evidence of specified federal crimes. So that's really the first time we're hearing them say that they have found specified federal crimes. It's also very interesting in this filing, they say that while the existence of this investigation is known, there's a lot of information that was contained in these affidavits that support their application for those search warrants that a judge has to sign off on that is not publicly known. So this tells us, even though there was an impeachment investigation where a lot of Giuliani's activities in Ukraine did become public, there's information that they have that we just don't know about yet. They also say this is an ongoing investigation into Giuliani, Tenzing's, and activities of others. It could be Lev Parnas and Igor Fruman, two people that Giuliani was working with, but they are saying that other people are involved in this. And one thing that I think is worth reminding people is that Rudy Giuliani once was the U.S. Attorney of the Southern District of New York. This is the very office that is investigating him now.
Again, to point out something you said there, just because it requires, I think, extra emphasis there. For everything we learned in impeachment, everything that's out there already, this federal prosecutor saying there's stuff there that we don't know.
That's right. They're saying that there is information, and when you apply for a search warrant, you have to lay out evidence of a crime that you think occurred and why that evidence is on the device that you're seeking to search. So prosecutors and FBI agents would have had to really distill what they think happened and why they think it broke the law.
Very interesting stuff. Kara Scannell, thanks so much for being with us this morning. So a fragile ceasefire between Israel and Hamas appears to be holding this morning. We're live on the ground in Gaza next.
Plus, Ted Cruz sharing Russian propaganda online. And first, there were murder hornets. Now, sex-crazed cicadas? Yeah, we're serious. What is turning so many of these insects into, quote, flying salt shakers of death?
You're obsessed with the salt. It's the fact that their genitals are falling off and then they still are sex crazed to me that's so interesting.
I just have a little more decency, I think, is why I describe it that way.
We'll see about that. Stay with us.
We will.
I'm Stanley Tucci. I'm fascinated by my Italian heritage, so I'm traveling across Italy to discover how the food is as unique as the people and their past.
We're hungry, right?
Starving. Come with me as I taste the flavors of the land and sea.
Let's go fishing.
To discover what the food tells us about the people that craft it. Wow. And its distinct regions. The maestro is making a pizza for me.
That's one of the best martinis I've ever had in my life.
If you don't believe in God, you believe in tortellini. It's like a religion.
Oh, wow. This dish tells a story.
Ciao, ciao.
It has survived the darkest of times.
That's the best sushi I've ever had.
A CNN original series, Stanley Tucci, Searching for Italy, premieres June 20th.
At Sproxel, we connect consumers with genuine product manufacturers by placing a unique code on each product that rolls off the factory line that a consumer can use your cell phone to verify and make sure that what they pull off the shelf and buy actually came from the manufacturer as indicated on the packaging. And so by using serialization and the vast network of mobile devices, we're able to connect brands and consumers directly to make sure that consumers are not ripped off. The face of the company has changed significantly. When we started off, we had most of our staff here in the US, and today our workforce is much larger overseas than it is here in the US, because we've been able to team up and find brilliant people locally who are moving the front lines so deeper into the territory of counterfeiters in those markets.
I'm Blake Essig in Fukushima, Japan, and this is CNN.
The journey to the top for a successful business in Africa starts with an idea. But how does a concept become a moneymaker? African and global industry leaders share their stories. On Profit Point in CNN Marketplace Africa in association with Dangote.
When news happens anywhere in the world, CNN is there.
Pull back their troops from the border of Ukraine.
Right now, they're just making their way slowly towards the wall.
The situation right across India is grave, verging on catastrophic.
Why do you think India has been hit so badly? I'm sorry, I'm getting a bit emotional right now.
How did the Republican Party
This is America, 1,000 points of light.
go from this
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
to this? Exploiting religion,
This war is for the soul of America.
suppressing votes.
Millions removed from the voter rolls.
CNN's Fareed Zakaria explores
Our country will be destroyed.
a radical rebellion, the transformation of
Oh.
the GOP. Saturday on CNN.
On the next Living Golf, the crossover between the game and popular culture, featuring top names in entertainment and fashion.
That pursuit, knowing that, you know what, I've hit this shot before, I can do it again, that mentality is what keeps me completely enthralled in the sport.
Plus, Christopher McDonald discusses his role in the hit movie Happy Gilmore.
Join me, Shane O'Donoghue, on this month's Living Golf.
Saturday on CNN, in association with Gulf Saudi.
In the Middle East, a fragile ceasefire between Israel and Hamas appears to be holding after about 12 hours now, but the recent violence in that region has taken a heavy toll on the children who are caught in the middle of this conflict. Earlier this week, a 10-year-old girl's plea from Gaza went viral.
I'm always sick. I don't know. I can't do anything. You will own this. What do you expect me to do? Fix it? I'm only 10. I can't even do anything anymore. I just want to be a doctor or anything to help my people, my cat. I'm just a cat.
The Norwegian Refugee Council says some of the children who were killed in their homes from these Israeli airstrikes have been participating in its trauma treatment program. Local authorities say at least 65 Palestinian children have been killed over the last 11 days. Joining us now, the Secretary General of the Norwegian Refugee Council, Jan Egeland. Jan, I know that this is devastating for your nonprofit and for the staff that is working with these kids. Can you tell us about these children?
Well, 12 of these children, most of them small girls, were part of the trauma care program of the Norwegian Refugee Council. Because, you know, this is the 5th war since 2006. All of these children had traumas. They had nightmares. They could not learn in school, so we were treating them, and it was a successful program. And then we get in every single day through this onslaught, this military campaign, news of our children being killed by the new military campaign. I mean, their name was Dima, Rula, Tala, beautiful girls. Now they're all gone in this senseless exchange of missiles. Should not have happened. It must not happen again.
What is it like for, you know, I mean, I know you look at this most recent conflict and you must think about the effect that it specifically is having on kids in Gaza. But this cumulative violence, what is the effect on kids?
It creates hopelessness. You know, the girl 10 years who says, what do you expect me to do? Fix this? I mean, these well-fed men on either side, military and political leaders in Israel and in the armed groups in Gaza, they are not teaching each other's lessons. They're killing children on either side. And they are breeding a hopelessness, a bitterness, a hatred in new generations in Gaza that will, of course, undermine the security of Israel. I mean, I have never seen such a counterproductive policy from any government as from the Israeli government if they want to protect their own population in the future. So what we're doing now as non-governmental organizations is sending letters to world leaders, including the US government, and saying, cannot return to what it was before this. The siege on Gaza has to end. The occupation as it is has to end. We need political solutions. If not, we'll see a war every 3, 4, 5 years for eternity.
Sir, I know this is very difficult for your folks who have been working with these children, and I thank you so much, Secretary General Jan Egeland, for coming on to talk about this with us.
So, cash for shots. States across the country rolling out big perks to get more people vaccinated, but is it working?
And an historic election in Pittsburgh on the verge of electing its first black mayor. He will join us next with his vision for the city.
We've missed the globetrotting and adventures, and we're longing to get out and go. Uncovering the city's DNA. Meeting people who share its secrets. I knew it was going to happen and let's go Belgrade. And making discoveries that wow.
Really is quite something to see.
It's a world of wonder. Now go and see it. Saturday on CNN in association with Turkish Airlines.
I would describe One World as compelling, inclusive, and original. I want this show to be a place where everyone watching has a stake in the global conversation.
One World with Zain Asher, tonight on CNN.
I'm Clarissa Ward on the River Ganges in India, and this is CNN.
겐지, 인디아, 겐지스강.
Julia Chatterley, journalist, global market analyst, and host of CNN's First Move. Join me in the financial capital of the world for a market-moving perspective on the news influencing global politics, culture, and finance. I'll speak to newsmakers, risk takers, and the ultimate game changers. Bold moves, big deals, winning trades. It's all right here. Make CNN your first move.
First Move with Julia Chatterley. Tonight on CNN.
I'm Nick Ward in Los Angeles, and this is CNN.
So the states of New York and Maryland have both announced new lottery prizes, potentially for people who get vaccinated. New Yorkers could win up to $5 million. Maryland will randomly pick someone to win $40,000 each day starting next week. All you have to do to be eligible is to get vaccinated. Now, this follows Ohio offering $5 million for people who get vaccinated. They can enter a lottery. The question is, does it work? It turns out we do have some evidence. So let's go behind the numbers. We're joined this morning by CNN senior political writer and analyst Harry Yen. As I said, Ohio has done this. They've instituted this lottery. How's it working so far?
It seems to have done something, right? I mean, look at this. This is Ohio. This is a weekend-to-weekend change. The weekend after the lottery was instituted, look at that, up 28% on vaccinations among adults. The weekend before, so the baseline, it was down 25%. So clearly something's happened here, and I was looking at the national numbers, and they didn't rise anywhere near close to this 28%. So you know what? You sort of put your head together, and you got to say, hey, they instituted the lottery, the numbers are up. This seems to have done a little something.
That's a lot of something, actually. That's a pretty huge swing, Harry.
Yeah, it's up from, say, around, it's up around 30,000, I believe, or something along those lines. And what's so key is we've been seeing these declines nationally, and all of a sudden we're able to reverse that. And that, I think, is what's so important.
Other states are doing other things, too. What are some other states?
Right. So, if we look at it, we mentioned Maryland and New York with the lottery. New Jersey's trying free beer and wine. West Virginia, $100 savings bonds to those under the age of 35, or a gift card. So I'm all for this, right? Try and do some unusual things, because this is an unusual time. This isn't like a political campaign. A lot of these folks that have not gotten the vaccine yet are not registered to vote. So a political campaign can't work. So why not try something different, Fred?
I was joking with the governor of Ohio, Mike DeWine. He skipped right over a case of beer. If he wanted to up New Jersey, he could have gotten a case of beer. He went from that to $5 million. So really upping the ante. What do people who haven't been vaccinated, maybe the vaccine hesitant though, what do they say they want to get the vaccine?
Yeah, so we're trying all this interesting stuff, and I'm all for it, right? Giving away money. But interestingly enough, when you ask those who are vaccine hesitant what will make them more likely to get the vaccine, an employer giving them $200, aka free money, just 26% say it makes them more likely to get the vaccine. Some more traditional things actually seem to work better, right? So paid time off for the vaccine, 47%. Vaccine offered at a place they go for healthcare, 46%. 45% say only one dose to be vaccinated. So it does seem that conveniency and familiarity are the things that are more likely to get the vaccine hesitant to get a shot than perhaps giving them money.
It's so important. Make it easier. Make it easier, and you'll reach a whole bunch of people. Harry, who is not getting vaccinated? There's a disparity here, yes?
Right. So, the other thing I think is so important to keep in mind is who has not gotten vaccinated but wants a vaccine. And unfortunately, it's hurting communities of color as well as those who are less fortunate economically. 18% of those who are Black or Hispanic say they want the COVID-19 vaccine but have not yet been vaccinated. The same 18% incomes less than $50,000 versus the more fortunate among us economically. And white folks, 11% say they want the COVID-19 vaccine but haven't gotten vaccinated. So again, I think we need to perhaps think a little bit, almost not even simplistically, but the basic idea of putting these in the places where the people who are perhaps less fortunate, at least economically speaking, in order to get them to get the vaccine, just make it easier for them.
Again, these are people who want it.
These are people who want it.
So real opportunities there.